Thank you for 10,000 subscribers. In this Gimbal Guru subscriber special video, I show you how to create dynamic FPV drone-like shots with your Insta360 ONE X2 and ONE R. Check it out and get creative. I created all these awesome shots with my Insta360 ONE X2 and ONE R. In this tutorial I show you my workflow in detail, so that you too can create such amazing clips. I understand that it is maybe too complex for many, but I want to reach especially those users who want to take the extra effort and work to create something unique. Before we start, here's some main facts. It is possible to create FPV shots with any 360 camera. No matter if you have an Insta360 ONE X2, an Insta360 ONE R, a GoPro MAX or any other 360 camera, the workflow is always the same. Here are the basic steps. Mount your 360 camera on a selfie stick and extend it. This is necessary for the dynamic movement. With the 360 camera mounted on the polestick, you can run and at the same time you can move the camera left and right and up and down. These movements are giving your video the desired dynamic motions. Choose the following settings on your 360 camera. In this example, I used the Insta360 ONE X2 and I set the video resolution as high as possible. 5.7K and 30 FPS is the right choice. It's very important to activate the electronic image stabilization. On the Insta360 ONE X2 it's called Flowstate. The next step is the video recording. Find an interesting location and get creative. Very important is that you run and not walk. I tried to walk and speed up the video, but it looks unnatural. You get the best results when you run and at the same time you create a dynamic motion with the selfie stick by moving it around. The magic happens in post-production. I tried a lot and I think I found the best workflow to get the best results. The raw material out of the camera looks really boring, but with the following steps you can pimp your footage into awesome FPV drone-like looking shots. For the next steps I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, because this is my main software, which I'm working with since years. Let me know in the comments if you want a tutorial where I create the same effects in Insta360 Studio. The first step is to import the raw footage in Adobe Premiere Pro. I installed the Insta360 Studio software, which includes the Adobe Premiere Insta360 importer. This gives you the possibility to import the finished, stitched raw footage from your Insta360 camera. Unfortunately, it's not possible to work with this directly in Adobe After Effects, so I had to export the video to import it again in After Effects. I recommend you to export the video in H.264 with a high bitrate. When the rendering is finished, import the stitched raw video again in Premiere Pro and create a new 4K sequence with the frame rate of the footage. I recommend you to create the proxy file, because the workflow is very performance intensive. When this is done, we can start the main editing. The third step is the reframing. My reframing tool of choice is the GoPro Reframe plugin. You can download the plugin for free. Choose the 4K resolution and the parameters to get the best quality. Before we continue, I switch to After Effects. Why I do this, I will explain later. Make sure the proxy file is activated in After Effects. When you look at the video, you see a narrow field of view, which we don't want. By modifying the zoom parameter, you can change the field of view. We want to create the FPV drone-like looking video, so I recommend you to set the zoom value to 50. Now we have a wide view, but we get a curved image, which looks unnatural. With the lens curve parameter, we compensate the curvy image. Set the value to 60 in combination with the zoom value at 50. That worked best for me. When we compare the two videos, we can see a clear difference. The wide view in combination with the distortion compensation visualizes a fast movement for the viewer. At this point, the movements looks very rigid and not very dynamic. This is the reason why we need to set keyframes for the pan, tilt and roll parameter. This is the part where you can get creative again. Tilting the camera slightly left and right and changing the direction minimal worked best for me. Remember that it should look like you're flying a FPV drone and you want to pass objects very close. When you have set all your keyframes, play back the footage. Now you see that the video is more dynamic, but still it looks very unnatural and not smooth. To change this, mark all keyframes, right-click and choose the setting Keyframe Interpolation. Then set the parameter to Continuous Bezier. When you look now again at the preview, you get a smooth dynamic video, but it is still not perfect. To optimize the motion, I recommend you to smooth out the keyframe splines. Click on the graph editor to open the keyframe spline. Now try to create the smoothest rounded spline line possible. This again changes your footage drastically. When you now look at the video again, you get a natural looking motion. You can fine-tune the curves as you like to get the best looking result possible. Here is a Gimbal Guru tip. You can additionally add keyframes for the zoom value. For example, at the beginning of your clip, you can decrease the value. This creates a zoom-in effect, which looks like a very fast entering speed. The final result is now looking very good in my opinion. But you can still improve it by adding motion blur. I recommend you to use the pixel motion blur effect. This effect is adding fake motion blur to your video, which looks very realistic. The pixel motion blur effect in After Effects is very powerful, but also very performance intensive. The rendering time is increasing drastically. Keep this in mind when you add the effect. Now your video is finished and you created an awesome looking fake FPV drone shot. Here are the shots again, but this time with a split screen, where you can see the opposite side. In summary, I'm impressed once again by the possibilities which a 360 camera offers you. As already mentioned, I created all the clips with the Insta360 ONE X2 and ONE R. Check out the links in the video description and get your Insta360 camera now to create awesome dynamic FPV shots. I also linked you my software, which I work with. I hope this tutorial was interesting and helpful. If you want to see more creative 360 video ideas, editing tutorials, 360 camera reviews and much more, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. I see you in the next video.